Alright, I want to thank you for purchasing one of my otter combo kits. My first kit that comes with both wheel skis and floats. It's Turbine Otter, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So I'm going to try and show you what I think is the best way of putting this thing together. I've already popped out all the parts and got a little bit of a start here. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is find parts 1A and B. This is part number 2, and this part right here is what we're calling N1. N1 is going to go right into these front receiving notches, and then we're going to have to align and slip these things in. Okay. You gotta understand that this is all laser precision, so it's gonna fit. It just takes some aligning and some patience to make it all happen. So okay, as we got that put together, our next step is going to be let's see, what is it, part 4, part 3, what do we call that? Part 3. Alright, I like to spread it a little bit, so that'll go out, and then we can bring those back in on the sides. Okay, a little trick, if you take your parts T1 and slip these right into here, okay, on both sides, that is going to lock those together. So when we try to bring our back together and snap these things into place, that T1 has it locked and pinched, so it's not going to come apart. Okay, so we got that pulled together. We're gonna go to part number 4, which is right here. It's reversible. You can put either side up or down, and just set those into those receiving notches. Same thing. Might have to spread it a little bit or close it a little bit to make them all fit. But that's what we're looking for right there. Okay, from here, we're going to go to part 5, A and B, which is the one with the bear print on it, and then part 6. Part 6 is going to just slip through there and kind of lock in, but the assembly goes in and slides forward in that receiving notch. Hopefully you can see that all right. But that goes in and pushes all the way up. Okay, part 7, I've already got the wheel ski on there, which is part number 7, I believe. So we're going to slip that in and push it forward until it locks in and locks all that. That does feel a little bit loose, so we may be playing with that for the rest of the deal. Okay, so we got our assembly and tail all put together. I'm going to set that aside for just a minute, and we're going to get the propeller and propeller assembly. Okay, so we got our bolt washer, part P1. The propeller itself is P2, P3, P4, and this notchy piece is P5, and a lock washer crushes it all together just enough to where that it'll still spin. Okay, so when we bring our fuselage in, and we're gonna go, it doesn't matter which piece on the cloggy piece goes where. There's 8 notches, and there's going to be 8 pieces that form our nose cone. So we're going to slip it onto that bottom piece. I believe that's part number 2, and then part number 3 right here. We're going to slip these two together, and like I said, it's a little bit of alignment, and I'm holding that with pressure. Bring part number 1 in on both sides, and we're going to align and press together, and there you have it. Okay, I think it's a good idea to have glue on there just to hold it all together. We're going to bring in part number N2, and these, again, a drop of glue on each side would hold this together. And but go to that front piece, align it, and press it in. And then it's kind of a tough piece here. Come on now. Oh. There we go. And like I said, glue would really be a good answer for these pieces. If we weren't assembling and having to redo these little videos, I'd be gluing them as I go, but I have learned that that doesn't work so good for taking videos here. So, okay, so we've got our nose cone all put together. I believe our next step is going to be the wing, and it's right here. Here again, I like the engraving, the flaps to go down, and so you got to align it. And it's going to go over the top of part number 4, so you got to push down on the front and push down over here, align, and it slips right over the top. Okay, that'll allow you to, if you want to get the nose down when you're for display, you can put it over there. Change your pitch by bringing your strings to the front and getting your nose up. Okay, so we got that. Where are we going? I think we're gonna start working on our landing gear, and I like to just flip it upside down. Okay, T1's going in those first 2 notches. We got a T2. It's going to go in these second notches here and here. Okay, T3s, the little guys. There again, they could use some glue. All these pieces could be glued in. Okay, these holes back here are all for our float assembly, which we're going to get to in just a little bit. But for right now, I have one set put together already. This is what we're trying to achieve. If we could get some glue on those pieces, let it sit, and it'll be able to come on and off when you want to change your gear. So what we got is we're going to start with our L4, okay, and our tire assembly, wheel assembly. We got W1, W2, W3, W4 is offset, and it's going to go on and then slide down to lock into place. Okay, what I didn't show you was if you take these pieces and if you want to break that, okay, clean that little pop out leftovers. Okay, you can put those on. This goes on the outside of it, and now you got a working turning wheel. So that's going to go on and press down, and you still have a working wheel. Okay, so attach to N4, N5 goes on to the top, N6 will go on here. Okay, these pieces are where we want glue. On the N4 on the N5, N4 to N6. Okay, you get that glued, and then we're going to put it onto our T1 and connect to the T3s. Okay, just long enough for our glue to dry and let it all align. But for the quick process of showing you how it's supposed to work, I'm not gluing things, and hopefully it'll stay together long enough that we can put it together. So there's the one side. This side has the ski attached already, and it comes in and does the same thing. It's going to just attach to the T3. Okay, with our assembled ski, let me show you how that gets assembled. Okay, we got our ski, we got our notch towards the back. Alright, we're going to hook it in the front, and then I'm going to pinch this up and twist that over at the same time. Twist it over, and there we have our ski put together. We got our receiving notch on S1 here. Is going to the receiving notch of L4. It'll go right in there, and that as well could be glued. Okay, and oh, there, that fell off. But that's what we have for our wheel skis, and those can go on, but I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to take them off and we're going to go right to the float assembly. So that's pretty much it for the wheel skis. If you don't glue any of these parts that connect up on top or to the T3, you can take those off and change out to your floats. Okay, and it's the same type of deal. I have the some of the floats assembled. Other parts we're gonna have to put together real quick. But let me grab those. Okay, so we're going to set that to the side for a minute, and we're going to talk about this float assembly. So we're talking about F1, F2, F3. F1, and where's our F? Okay, so part F1, part F2, we're going to put that right into there. It's a little bit of force, okay? And the way I have found this to be easiest is if we put that in the back, this would be F4, this would be F3. F4 goes on the top, it's a little bit wider, and it goes in there. So now if we can slide that on the back and slip that in. Okay, same thing with the front. If we slip that one in there. And slip that in. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. I don't know where best for you to see it. Okay, that's going to go to the outside. And this is going to come over. Okay, a drop of glue right there. And a drop of glue right there. Same on this side. You might even want to put a drop of glue on this deal. But for now, we're just going to slip all this together. It's going to go there. And that goes over that. And press together. And there we have our float assembly. That one's not wanting to go on quite right. There it is. Okay, so if that was all glued together, we'd have it just right. So hopefully that made sense to you and goes together okay. Okay, while we're on this float, we're going to go to some other little parts. Lots of little parts. We got the front of our float being here. Okay, we want F8, which has the 2 holes in it. Okay, and that is going to go right in here. Okay, F9 has the open hook on the top. It's going to go into the second hole. Okay, and then F10 goes towards the rear. And here again, I would recommend glue on all of those little holes. Okay, so we have that. You do the exact same thing for the other side to speed this thing up. I'm going to bring in a set of put together floats, and we've added our cross braces, which are called part 11, but they're hooked in there. Okay, now with that done, we're going to set that aside for a second, and we're going to bring back our fuselage, and we're going to attach the rest of our T1s, which all go in here. Okay, we're looking pretty good. Hopefully this is all making sense to you and it's going to work out. Just a little bit of patience. Okay, and then we got to find what part is that. It is part 11A and B, which are right here. Okay, our ladders are always going to go towards the back of the plane, and they just are going to attach to the T1s. Okay, pretty small pieces. Oop. So you got to be a little bit careful with it. but they are going to slip on there. Like so. Here again, the ladders go towards the back. This model really doesn't do the otter justice because it is a big plane. It carries a lot of people, a lot of freight, and just an awesome, awesome airplane. So, there we have it. Pretty well assembled there. Okay. Here again, if you're going to put glue on there, you're not going to be able to get it apart to go back to wheels. So, just put them on and they should hold on for you just fine. Okay. So, with our float assembly, hopefully you can see this. We're going to, that was our T3 that held on our landing gear. We don't need to worry about that. We're going to slide the front of our part number 11 into these notches here, or receiving holes. Okay. And I'm going to try and do both sides at the same time. You can do it one side at a time. Okay, and then I'm going to get around that loop, get around that loop. It's going to pull back, and then I'm going to push it into place to hook it in the back over here. Okay, same thing on this side. And there we have it. Hopefully you can see how that worked. Okay, it was just a slip the nose in over the hook and then push it back into position. Okay, I want to say that's part number 12 that gets put in your water rudder, and I think we're there. One thing we haven't done is put in our windshield, but it's kind of a nice finish. If you want to slip that up into position and a drop of glue on both sides and put that in. I guess one other thing that we haven't talked about is you're not going to be using a wheel ski on the water, and we got another piece that they use. It helps with flight. It's going to go in here, and same thing, that locks in position full forward. Okay, so we got that. Something else we haven't done is our struts. We need to drop these pieces in. Let's see if I can find the number for them here. Number 9. Number 9 gets dropped in on that side, and one over on that side. And I believe these are number 10. Part number 10, yeah. It is going to go up inside of 9 and hook into, I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, up inside of number 9. Where are we at here? Up inside of 9, and then it hooks inside of T2. Alright, same thing over on this side. I'm trying to make it look a little easier for you. Drop this in here. Let in a little bit of force pushing up on that wing, and there it is. That drops in. Wiggle that around just a little bit, and there we have it. So that's really it. I think it's a great kit. You should enjoy. Thanks.